and welcome back to another live stream. And yeah, West Ham United 2, Liverpool 2 match reaction. Make sure to like the video and subscribe as soon as you guys get into here, get into the stream. So for context today, I did not get to watch the game. I did not get to watch the game because I was at work again. A bit like the Crystal Palace game. I promise I will watch the Chelsea game next week, reluctantly. But yeah, we didn't win. A draw doesn't satisfy me. I don't care if it's against Liverpool. Everton and Palace beat Liverpool. I watched the goals just an hour ago. And yeah, that was weird. That was just pure weirdness. Our defense is always going to be a mess. But it was the goals that went in. Antonio's goal was very easy because Kwanzaa is, for some reason, not marking him. He's not even looking at him. Their second goal was weird. It ricocheted off about 3 players. When someone told me it was a Gakpo volley, I was expecting something from outside the box. But it hit 3 fucking players. Blank says, a sloppy game in my point of view. It sounded like it. That's exactly what it sounded like. And it doesn't surprise me, given the fact that Liverpool were off form going into this game, losing to Everton. We actually watched it together. Some of you were on the watch along. Some of you were in the comments, and some of you saw how Liverpool played against Everton. And I get it's because Merseyside derby and Everton are always going to turn up against Liverpool when Liverpool need to win something, and Liverpool haven't won in a while at Goodison, but Everton haven't won against Liverpool at Goodison either, and they managed to do that. And we're meant to be 8th place team. It's meant to be not that bad. It's meant to be, be careful what you wish for. But we still can't beat Liverpool. Palace can beat them at Anfield. Palace put 5 past us. But we can't beat Liverpool at our ground. We haven't won at our ground in about 2 months in the league. 2 months. Last game that we won in the league was Brentford. Since then, we've drawn to a lot of teams. We've drawn to Burnley, we've drawn to Villa, we've drawn to Tottenham, and we've drawn to Liverpool. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I don't remember if we've won any games since. We beat Wolves away. We've got the Everton game in the background now. Against Brentford. Really boring game. But we've only won 4 games this calendar year in all competitions. And in the league, that is 3 games. That is 3 games in the league. Brentford at home and Everton away and Wolves away. We've won 1 home game in the league this whole fucking season. Funny enough, I remember last year. The guy Rob Pritchard, or whatever his name is, the guy who does the interviews for West Ham. I don't expect him to come up with any constructive criticism because he literally works for the club. It's literally his job to, be a puppet. And he literally said that it was at the time that we only lost 2 home games or something in the whole calendar year in 2023. And then we had a good home record, and then Arsenal slapped us 6-0, and we haven't been the same since. Because 2 games later we beat Brentford, and then did what? Then what have we done since then? Now, luckily, I had the privilege of not watching the game. Because I don't want to watch the game. I don't particularly want to watch West Ham for the rest of the season. I'm not up for the rest of the season. As you can see from the title of my previous match preview, I was in end of season mode. I even tweeted that out. I'm in end of season mode. Because as much as we're in contention for European spots, Newcastle won today. We lost to Fulham. We've lost to Palace. We lost to so many teams. The game against Wolves, we scored a corner and a penalty, and I'll keep saying it. It doesn't mean we're a good team that we're 8th. Have you seen Brighton this season? Brighton haven't looked that good. They look like a team that hasn't replaced their best players. Manchester United, they drew to Burnley at home. Same as West Ham United drew to Burnley at home. Same as Chelsea, who are around us, that drew to Burnley at home. It's a very bad European battle, if you even want to call it that. Now, this country does not deserve the extra European place. And have you seen the English teams in Europe this season? Apart from Villa, there's no one else in it. Roma destroyed Brighton. Leverkusen beat us. Real Madrid beat Man City on penalties. They're the only ones that didn't disgrace themselves, but they should have finished their chances at home. Arsenal didn't do anything against Bayern Munich at their ground. Man United went out of the Champions League group. I'm pretty sure they came fourth. Newcastle finished fourth. What is going on? And Liverpool lost to Atalanta. By the way, you know who scored against Liverpool twice? Gianluca Scamacca. Need I say any more? And to be honest with you, when I heard that it was 2-1, I was like, I'm not surprised. I'm not exactly surprised that this happened. A lot of Liverpool fans thought we were going to win today. And fair enough, we didn't lose to Liverpool. But you think I'm going to be happy about a 2-2 draw? I don't celebrate draws on this channel. I don't celebrate draws. The only time I've ever celebrated a draw was the Tottenham 3-3 because we came back from 3-0 behind to score a last-minute winner like that. You think I care about draws? We drew to Tottenham at home this season, and people were telling me, but we gave it our all. We gave it our all. We left it all out there. But from the 70th minute, we parked the bus to hang on to a draw. And that's facts. You had these idiots on the pitch just long balling it constantly. Now, I don't know who played well today. I heard Paquetá played shit. I heard Kudus played shit. I heard Bowen played alright. I heard Antonio wasn't doing enough. I heard Ogbonna was shit. I heard Areola was good. I heard our whole defence in general was shit. You see, when all of our players have been shit these past few games, these past few months, they cannot gaslight us in their interviews by saying that it's not getting to us, the whole speculation about the future of the manager. It definitely is. Because that's the only thing that people seem to talk about this weekend. Not even this weekend. The whole season. Because the future hasn't been decided according to the board or what we're hearing. Even though we know Moyes is leaving. Now that is on the board. I will never refrain from not going at the board. From going at the board, sorry. I've been Sullivan out since nearly a decade now. Since I understood what a football owner could do to this club, I've been Sullivan out. I've been that. And this brings me on to the managerial search. Now, I'm sorry it was only 8 minutes in that I talked about the game. But we've got some things to talk about. Rashane Thomas from The Athletic did an article. I haven't clicked on the article because you've got to pay for that shit. Not shit, but you know what I mean. But let me share this. This is the tweet right here. Julian Lopetegui, Graham Potter, Paulo Fonseca, and Sebastian Hoynes, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, are in the frame for the West Ham job and have many strengths the board will view positively. We're linked to this Stuttgart manager, but he signed a new contract, which I don't understand how we can be linked to a guy who signed a new contract, but whatever, Tim Steiner will seem to like him because he's German and he's in the Bundesliga, so he's obviously worked with him before. Graham Potter, I doubt Steiner wants Graham Potter. As much as I actually don't think Graham Potter's a bad manager at all. Not only would it take fucking ages for us to play his kind of football, but also that is a Sullivan appointment right there because he wants English managers. Let me share this quickly, and I'm going to give you my opinion on this as well. Fabrizio Romano tweeted this. Now, after we heard about Lopetegui being linked, as I showed you the Rashane Thomas thing, Fabrizio Romano tweets this. AC Milan are advancing in talks with Julio Lopetegui as new head coach to replace Pioli. Lopetegui's giving priority to AC Milan over West Ham and more European clubs. Positive talks took place about the project. Further steps yet to be discussed soon. Let me discuss Lopetegui. I've been quite vocal in no to Lopetegui on Twitter. And it's not because of Lopetegui. Again, it's the intention of having Lopetegui as the manager. So, for example, Lopetegui is another one who is probably a Sullivan appointment. I don't imagine Steiden wanting a Lopetegui. Not that kind of, like, more of a hipster manager, a manager that wants to play football is probably what Steiner wants. And it's not like Lopetegui doesn't want to play football or anything. And given what he done at Wolves last season, I think he's done a good job. I think he's got a great CV. And I think in general, he's a good manager. Not an elite manager, but he's a good manager. He's definitely a good manager. Done well at Sevilla. And he'll probably go back there one day. The fact that he's getting an AC Milan job, credit to him. The fact that he even went to Wolves surprised me at the time. I actually said when Steve Cooper got sacked from Forest that Lopetegui should go to Nottingham Forest. But they got Nuno instead, and despite the points deduction, Nuno's doing what he can. Nuno's doing what he can with that squad that has so many players that fail to gel in that sort of squad. With Lopetegui, I would only take him if there's a direction. If it's not just Sullivan signing him instead of the director of football that he appointed to sign him. Steiden, don't see why he would want Lopetegui. Don't get the reason behind the footballing philosophies involved. That's my only concern with the Fonseca thing, that Sullivan's wanted Fonseca before. So I'm thinking it's more of a Sullivan appointment than it is a standard appointment, but I've also heard a lot of positives about what Fonseca has done at Lille. Obviously, he didn't do that well at Roma from what I know, but whatever in it. Sometimes you don't do well at certain clubs, so maybe that was just a blip. He was the manager before Mourinho took over. And the other manager, Graham Potter, as I said, I don't see Steiden wanting Graham Potter. I just don't. I don't get the logic behind that, if I'm being completely honest with you. Now, going on to the last thing in terms of managerial stuff, and we'll talk more about this in this video. Something else has come out about a certain manager that was linked to West Ham United. You can see him in the title. I'm trying to find the tweet, guys. There it is. All right, let me share it again. Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim obviously travelled to London to talk to West Ham. And for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. Obviously, I still have faint hope. But Ruben Amorim on travelling to London to meet with West Ham. This was his statement for like sporting and stuff. It was a mistake. The timing was completely wrong. I'm always asking my players to be respectful, and I wasn't. Even if I informed the club before, I'm so sorry, and I apologise to the fans, club and players. Now, I think people have made this point as well. He's apologised for the timing of it. Doesn't mean he's apologised for moving. Now, before that statement, I could have seen Amorim leave. Yeah, he went back and apologised. Yeah, legit. Like before that statement, before that apology, bro, I could see Amorim staying at Sporting. But I actually think because of that statement, he will leave on a high, win the league, and go somewhere else. He's going to be linked to everyone. Now, we know Arne Slot is going to Liverpool. I don't know why my hat is so wonky, by the way. It might just be the screen or the angle. But Arne Slot is going to Liverpool. Another manager that I wanted at West Ham was linked to Liverpool, and it advanced very quick. It's something we should be doing. Even though they want to be respectful to David Moyes. Yeah, any normal club, any like brutal, honest, I don't remember what the other word is, would be serious by just saying, Moyes, it's time to go. The fans clearly are divided about you. You've done a great job. You've cemented your spot as a West Ham legend. But please, just leave. Now, Moyes is obviously going to downplay it in the media about me and the board are going to come to a decision. You're gone, mate. You're gone. It's us or Chelsea for Amorim. Now, this is the thing. Now, reliable Chelsea insider called Darko that I follow on Twitter um, said that it's between De Zerbi or Amorim, and he gets things right at Chelsea. He has the inside knowledge, and Pochettino is pretty much gone at the end of the season. Obviously, Ten Hag is gone as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Amorim is linked with them as well. I've not seen Amorim linked um, to Manchester United. I've only seen Gary O'Neill, Gareth Southgate, Robert De Zerbi, Graham Potter, them kind of managers. And I think all of those managers would get eaten alive at Manchester United. Now, my only hope, guys, my only hope. Now, I don't know who Man United um, are going to hire, but De Zerbi is linked with Bayern, but Ralf Rangnick is going to get the job at Bayern as manager. Meaning De Zerbi, who is already probably set on leaving Brighton as he's already hinted, could go to someone like Chelsea, who I'm pretty sure one of their directors was at Brighton. One of the directors that's done a horrible job at Chelsea. I don't know if it's Win Stanley or Lawrence Stewart. I don't know which one it is. So that gives me an option to get Ruben Amorim at West Ham. That's why I think Ruben Amorim is either going to go to West Ham United or he's going to stay at Sporting Lisbon. Now, the only reason why I think Amorim is still a chance at West Ham is because of Stuyden. It's because of Stuyden. I think we'll try still. I think we'll try again. I don't know whether it'll succeed. I'm kind of just going off more false hope than I am any sort of logic. I've given you my logic there. Why is Jose Mourinho not an option? For West Ham, I'm not sure it's the move that we would go for. For Manchester United, he's wanted to go back, but I'm not sure going back is the right idea. For Chelsea, that'll purely be based on sentiment. For West Ham, don't get me wrong, Jose Mourinho's done everything. He's one of the goats of football, but would it work at West Ham with this group of players? Would he get the best out of this group of players? We're pretty much going to see the same football, but a bit more of a nasty team, which I don't mind seeing a nasty defensive team, but you've got to have better players for that. And I think we're on course with the youngsters we have, with the setup that we have, with the senior players that we have, to go in a younger manager sort of direction to build from there, sort of. And I think that's where we should go down. And I think because we have a big name in Jose Mourinho, I think that allows us to go back to how he was at West Ham like a few years ago, where you get a big name in and then Sullivan won't back him because he's already a big name. He should do it all himself, sort of thing. That's how I felt like Sullivan's ran the club in the past. I think Mourinho wouldn't mind moving to West Ham because it's in London. It's in London. He's still got that hotel in West London. We would have had Europe if we didn't throw away Villa, Newcastle, and maybe he would have decided by now. Brother, yeah, you're right. That Villa game was all Moyes. That Newcastle, well, not all Moyes, but that was all his subs. Newcastle game was all his subs. It was the same sub, Antonio coming off. One was for Johnson, one was for Calvin Phillips. Either way, we threw away both games. I think if you watched Aston Villa 4-1 West Ham, Arsenal 6-0 West Ham, Fulham 5-0 West Ham, Crystal Palace 5-2 West Ham, Newcastle 4-3 West Ham, that's enough. Exactly, George knows. Moyes out now. That's enough to say get out. I would been out for a very long time. It's the same old tired debate. And says Fabregas, the latest pundits come and chat shit, say the same old bullshit, and do the same old debate about David Moyes. I'm sorry, it's the same old debate. Do I want to... Now, I'm a very open person. I will debate with most people, but I will not get someone on the channel to debate about David Moyes, because I don't care. I'm not having this discussion again. Once he leaves, we don't have to talk about him again. And put it this way, if the next manager does shit, you know what they're going to say? You should have kept David Moyes. Stats aren't everything, guys. Stats aren't everything. Sustainability is the main thing in football, because sustainability allows you to be in a good position to either compete or win for something, or just win something. Now, Moyes has won the Conference League, and I'm not going to ever look down upon the Conference League, ever. But what I will say is that we were the best team in that competition. I had full confidence that we were going to win that from the start. Now, in domestic cups, this guy wants to throw away cups. This guy wants to throw away FA Cups, League Cups. Losing to Bristol City. Let's go through Moyes' cup stints at West Ham. 1920 season, loses to Slaven Bilic against West Brom. The next season, in the Carabao Cup, loses like 4-1 to Everton. Yeah, Mourinho, if people want it for footballing reasons, then yeah, Mourinho does play boring football, but he wins stuff as well. So people will put that argument forward, but I don't think it'd work at West Ham. I think it would just become toxic, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think Mourinho's the answer in 2024. Just as much as I want to watch Mourinho, I want to see Mourinho in the Premier League, just not for West Ham. That's it. In the 1920 season, Everton beat Moyes like 4-1 or something. In the Carabao Cup, we lose in the Carabao Cup. In the FA Cup, we lose 1-0 to Manchester United. The 21-22 season, let me think. We lost to Tottenham away in the League Cup. In the League Cup, we lost to Tottenham away. In the FA Cup, we lost to Southampton away. It was a terrible performance. Fornals was playing left wing back because we had so many injuries. We played 3 at the back just to match up with that. We lost to Southampton's B team, by the way, as well. And that Tottenham game, we played well. We didn't finish our chances, though, in that game. We peppered them, and we didn't finish anything. The next season, the 22-23 season, loses to Blackburn on penalties in the Carabao Cup by playing a second team and playing Flynn down to the 10 role. And in the FA Cup, he loses to Man United 3-1. This season, who did we face in the Carabao Cup to lose? Oh, Liverpool, yep. Liverpool. The irony, he plays the second team against Liverpool, throwing away another cup by playing your second team. And he loses to Bristol City away in the FA Cup. So this manager, who has a job because of a trophy, doesn't want to have any ambition to win more trophies, to challenge for more cups. This is a manager who has never won a major honour, never won anything like that was an actual trophy before the Conference League. He won the Community Shield, I'm pretty sure, and that's it. But that sums up this manager. Is West Ham in a transitional period to start to fight for top placements and UCL, or do we want to start a project with a new manager? I don't think we're right now in a transitional period to finish in the top 4, because we always seem to half-ass the top 4 sort of battle. What I think can happen with the right appointment is exactly what happened with Unai Emery and Aston Villa, where Emery takes them from a deep, dark place in 16th, gets his philosophy going, and gets them into the top 4. I'm not expecting top 4 first season, but that should be a top 4 and the FA Cup eventually, in my opinion, should be the point we go to, the targets we should aim for, because trophies are important. We don't get trophies often. If we was the team to start building towards the next level, as we've been hearing for the past decade, then we need to be trying to win at least a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup. And it's not even the best teams that win these cups. It's not even the best team that gets to the final of these cups. It may be Big Six teams, but half of these teams don't try. Half of these teams don't try to win. We're not in Europe next season, so you should be trying to get domestic cups. A 10th place, for example, a 10th place in the FA Cup. Let's say we magically did that. Magically won the FA Cup whilst finishing 10th. That's a very good season. That's a very good season because of the FA Cup. But we got to build on that. We got to build on what Moyes has left behind, the standards that have been raised by David Moyes, get the new manager in with his own philosophy, and keep challenging for European spots year in, year out. Now, fair enough. 1 year out, we'll be like, okay, you're doing really shit right now. There's question marks, there's red flags. That doesn't mean we're gonna sack you yet. But you see 2 seasons of that in a row, get gone. Get gone immediately. And I don't mean first season, second season. I mean consecutive. Like first season, you're getting your foot in the Premier League with West Ham United. Cool, whatever. But I don't really have much expectations. I expect to see signs of the style of football that you're trying to play. That's what I expect. I expect you to stick to your philosophy, but I also expect you to not be stubborn enough to be like De Zerbi, for example, that tries to play through everyone. Be like Bielsa and tries to man everyone. You know, like stuff like that. And be like, or like a David Moyes who sits 11 players behind the ball for every game. Yep, as George says, hit the like button as you're coming in, people, and subscribe if you're new, because we're on the road to 500 subscribers and we're nearly on 260. So thank you for the support as of recently. But that's where I am at with the whole managerial situation. That's where I'm at with who I want to come in. Who do I want to come in? I have no idea right now. People have said that this Fonseca guy is good. Now, I have no idea who this Stuttgart manager is. I would say that for a fact. All I know is that people have suggested him in the past, a few months ago. And also, it's just one of the managers that I don't know anything about. But I just got to hope and pray that these tacticos on Twitter that is right. By the way, I would just like to say about Stuttgart, yeah? Stuttgart were beaten by Leverkusen 2-0, and Bayer Leverkusen scored 2 goals to manage to keep their invincible record. This is insane. They keep scoring in the 97th minute and all that. This Bayer Leverkusen are different, man. But this Stuttgart manager, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's been linked. Now, Steiden could get him out of his deal, and Sullivan's managed to pay, willing to pay compensation for a guy who's just signed a new contract, then I'll believe a little bit. I might give Sullivan 0.0000001% respect. Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't get me wrong. I get this. I fully remember who owns the club. That would determine who we get as manager. Don't get me wrong. I fully get that. I fully get why people are stubborn because not stubborn. People are paranoid because of who's upstairs, and that's David Sullivan. Because if he doesn't let Steiden have the reign, I'm not renewing. I'm not going through Pellegrini again. You know, Pellegrini 2.0. Thoughts on Sheffield United relegation? Fucking love it. Let me get that up as well. Let me get that up. Hold on. Because we can celebrate that as well. That's something to celebrate. Not even celebrate, just take the piss. Give me a sec, guys. Let me present the screen again. Right there. That's a beautiful, beautiful image. Don't come back. Don't come back, Sheffield United. You can't blame Carlos Tevez for this one. You can't blame Javier Mascherano for this one. Don't come back. 5-3-2 hype. Do not come back. Thank you very much. They sold their best 2 players at the start of the season. I didn't expect anything less. The problem is, when I look at the prediction table, I predicted probably Luton 20th and Sheffield United 19th, which I sincerely regret. But that is what it is. Respect the point we got at Bramble Lane. That's what this manager is like, but it's because of injuries. We didn't beat Sheffield United and Bristol City because of injuries. Newcastle nearly battered them 10-0. They're talking to me about injuries. We could have easily won that game with Fornals and Corday and Ings and Owen up front. We could have easily won that. Easily. Now, we can talk about VAR in that game, but it's a 90-minute game, guys. He sat back against Sheffield United away from home. We didn't press at all in that game. It was our own fault. Zuma for the first goal as well. Again, it's our own fault. It's our own fault. Oh my god, man. We drew to Sheffield United and Burnley. 2-2-2s. We've lost to Arsenal, Fulham, Palace, Liverpool, Villa. Got battered in every game. We bottled it against Aston Villa at home. We bottled it twice against Newcastle. People like to think that home game was good. People like to think that that home game against Newcastle when we drew 2-2 was a good game. No, we were 1-0 up, and they just came back of battering PSG when they were exhausted. And people want to tell me that we didn't capitalise off that just because we played on a Thursday as well. Stuttgart coach is not coming. I don't think he's coming either. He just signed a new contract. And if Steiner can manage to get him, then well done to him. But put it this way, if Steiner has the role of getting the manager in and he's allowed to get a free reign of getting a manager in, we are fine. If Sullivan is doing it, we are finished. Chelsea has spent all their money yet. They're gonna knowing those owners, they'll always find a loophole to get more money back to avoid FFP stuff. And they're a Big Six club. Do you really think Big Six clubs are going to get punished in the Premier League? Nothing's going to happen to Manchester City, even if I don't know what the 115 charges are for, but 115 charges, let's say they were all true, they wouldn't get punished because it's the Premier League. They didn't get punished for doing a Super League. They're not going to get punished for doing anything else. So I wouldn't hold your hopes on Chelsea going. No Chelsea going anywhere, but I would love it. I would love it. I think everyone knows how much I hate Chelsea, and that's another thing. By the way, we've got Chelsea away coming. Yeah, they're going to have to play Tottenham on Thursday, and I always get up for Chelsea versus West Ham. This is the first time since we got beat since we beat them at their ground with Pellegrini that I have not been up for it. Because when we beat them at Stamford Bridge, I couldn't enjoy that. I wanted Pellegrini gone. I thought he was going to lose the game. I was like, yeah, great, we beat Chelsea, but Pellegrini's still here. I was pissed off that Pellegrini was still here. Steve Bruce has been seen an East Ham chicken spot for Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, here we go. Oh my god. Do you know what? I think if Steve Bruce joined West Ham in 2024, I think I'd quit this channel. I think I wouldn't go to a game again until Sullivan goes. That's how deep that would be. If this was a couple years ago, we would have probably got Steve Bruce. Not even a couple years, like 4 or 5 years ago. We would have tried to get Steve Bruce. It's only for Everton FFP. This is the thing, Everton and Forest are suffering with punishments, and I can see from the Forest perspective, rightly so, because they've spent a lot of money. They've just been outrageous with spending money. But at the same time, these Big Six clubs, every team in the league has probably broken a rule somehow. So that being the biggest punishment in the Premier League, uncomfortable conversations. I don't know why that's don't know why it's as big as punishment in the Premier League when I'm sure other teams have done worse as well. It's funny that Klopp and Salah thing that's been going on. I have no idea what they were arguing about, but that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't know. People are going on Twitter, by the way, and being like, "Well, it looks like that Klopp started the argument, brother. You don't know what either of them have said to each other. So why are you taking sides? No one knows what they said to each other. No one knows. Literally, no one knows what they said, but people are taking sides. It doesn't even matter. It's not even a headline. By the way, I wasn't going to do a watch along for Aston Villa Chelsea, but if you want a watch along, put it in the chat if you will join. The owner has no ambition. He won't push on when we do well January window because he knows our expectations will increase and he can't match it. I hear it. I hear what you're saying. My thing is with that, I agree with you with the owner has no ambition because he was waffling about the next level for years. My thing is, since David Moyes has come in, he has been very heavy in recruitment, being in charge of the recruitment, getting the right staff in, etc. He didn't really decide on Stein, and he wanted Rob Newman, and he binned him off. And now he's chief scout or whatever. But Moyes has been heavily involved with who comes in and who doesn't come in. He's even openly said that he would have taken Julian Alvarez at this. That he didn't take Julian Alvarez at this club because Antonio was doing well. So for me, the manager has an even bigger say than before David Moyes came in. You know, the Pellegrini, the Bilic's, and that times at West Ham, they didn't really have much of a say, in my opinion. But Moyes has a big say because that's what he wanted. He wanted to take over it all. So for me, in January when we didn't sign anyone, of course I'm going to blame the owner. Of course, but Moyes takes a big responsibility in that. That's why, where if we'll see this summer, what this new West Ham is going to be. Whether it's going to be a team that wants to be ambitious and it's all going to be decided by Steiden. It's all going to be in the hands and the foresight of Tim Steiden, or we get some normal old English guy and we go back to mid-table relegation battles because that's what Sullivan does. That's what Sullivan decides, and then Tim Steiden probably will leave. So we'll see this summer whether this manager, whether this owner actually has stepped back from footballing decisions. And the reason why he needs to, step back from footballing decisions is because he's now made his own bed to lie in it. Because he hired this director of football, he hired this technical director to do footballing decisions. Usually it was through agents and stuff. That's what gives me my hope. Because Pellegrini didn't get his own director of football. But whoever the next manager is will have their own director of football. That's the difference I see. I don't think Sullivan has changed at all, but that's just what I think. City are looking to take Lucas Paquetá. I think that's done, pretty much. They just need to put the money up front, 85 million. Anything less than 85 million, just reject it. 85 million is the release clause. Hopefully we could use the money to rebuild. Paquetá's checked out. The thing is with Paquetá checked out, I just think Paquetá just doesn't fit this fucking side. Now, the reason why I get onto Paquetá is because of I'm taking it by a game basis, and I like Paquetá, but anyone on this channel can get it. Now, when Paquetá, Kudus, and Bowen were doing well at the start of the season, it was off moments, and it was in spite of the manager. We actually could have done way better if this manager had just let them three just play football. But we're playing with Souček, Ward-Prowse, and Alvarez as a three in midfield. That does not help. Playing with Soufal, who can't pass 5 yards, a defence that can't defend. It goes on and on and on. Now, when Paquetá and Kudus and all these players are doing shit, I'm looking at the manager. The reason why people, I guess, are looking at Paquetá is because he has the most transfer speculation in front of him. This is what happened last year, though, and in years before, even with Declan Rice. People would say this about Declan Rice. As soon as Declan Rice would have a bad performance, it'd be like, he's checked out as well. I don't think Paquetá is checked out. I just think Paquetá has had enough of this football. Same with Kudus. Bowen's the only one that fits it because he played counter-attacking football, even though he can do better in a team that plays football. Antonio is probably the perfect Moyes footballer. That's just my opinion, but I heard Paquetá was shit today, so fair enough. If he was shit today, then he was shit today. He needs to do better. He probably needs to be dropped, but who do we drop him for? I would drop him for Cornet, but this manager won't play Cornet. And I would also not play Ward-Prowse and Souček in the same midfield. Paquetá's been poor for 5 games. Rice was consistently good. I'm not saying in terms of play. I'm saying, like, for example, if either of them would have a bad game, people will throw the transfer speculation on him. I don't think he's checked out. I think that's an easy thing to say because he has transfer speculation onto him. But I think we all know that all these players are doing shit right now because they know the manager is going. The reason why Bowen will come in and still do good because he has a motivation to still get into the Euros. None of these players are going to play the Euros. The rest of them aren't going to play apart from Areola, who's going to be on the bench. Bowen's the only one with motivation because he's going to play the Euros. I think all the other players know that this manager's gone. That's how I see it. And it's sad that it ended like this. I'll put it this way. Paquetá's going to look good under Pep because guess what? It's Pep Guardiola. And it's a manager that wants to play on the front foot. Our 2 years with Lucas Paquetá, he's been managed by David Moyes. Overall, Paquetá's had a 7 out of 10 this season, but I never put him in contender for Hammer of the Year. The two contenders I have, or three, is Areola, Emerson, and Bowen. I'd give it to Areola, but I think Bowen is going to win it off because he's English and he has PR and stuff. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at him winning it because he's done really well this season. And I'd even tweeted that if he didn't get injured, he'd be way past 20 goals by now. He'd be way past it. All right, let me know, guys, if you want me to do Aston Villa versus Chelsea watch along, and I'll do a new stream. And I'll continue this stream for about 2-3 more minutes. Just put in the chat if you want me to do a watch along, and we'll go from there. And I'll just carry on, and we'll talk about more of this even on another stream literally on the next stream. But if not, then we'll leave it there. I've got a stream coming on Monday. With my mate Alfie. We're going to talk about the weekend and West Ham and Arsenal and stuff, and stuff like that. We're going to round up the weekend. But overall, I think I'm going to end it there. I think I might just chill out after that. I've got some things to do. But if you guys want to watch along, let me know in the chat now, and I'll do the watch along. But other than that, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. And the social medias are in pretty much every description of every video. Yep, that's literally true, bro. That's what happens to all the teams that said that the coach is leaving. They all fall off. It's facts. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.